The galaxy was not merely dark, it was a hungry, shifting void. Somewhere in the nebula of the Sagittarius Arm, a massive, rusted dreadnought, the Iron Barnacle, tore through starlight like a shark through foam. At the helm stood Captain Popeye, his pipe clenched between his teeth, his single good eye fixed on the radar. Beside him, Felix the Cat, as nimble and mischievous as ever, was busy turning his magic bag inside out. "I'm tellin' ya, Popeye," Felix chirped, pulling a laser cannon out of his satchel that looked suspiciously like a giant accordion. "Those scrap metal scoundrels are heading for the Galactic Vault. If they get their hands on the Chronos-Core, they'll rewrite history so that spinach never existed." Popeye grunted, his massive forearm muscles rippling under his salt-crusted sleeve. "That's a tragedy I won't be standin' for, Felix. I've sailed the 7 seas and the 7 sectors, and I've never met a pirate I couldn't clobber." Suddenly, the ship rocked. A swarm of chrome-plated fighters, the robot pirates, descended like chrome locusts. Leading them was a figure that defied the laws of physics, a sleek, jet-powered boy with glowing eyes and twin cannons integrated into his arms. It was Astro Boy, but his usual kindness had been overridden by a jagged, red-coated virus. He hovered outside the viewport, his boosters roaring with a terrifying, rhythmic thrum. "Primary objective, salvage," Astro Boy's voice rang out over the comms, cold and synthesized. "Surrender your vessel or face total disassembly." "He's been hacked, Popeye," Felix shouted, leaping onto the dashboard. "Look at his processor core, it's pulsing that deep space static." Popeye didn't hesitate. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his last can of cosmic spinach. He crushed the lid with a thumb, poured the green, glowing sludge down his throat, and braced his feet against the deck. As his muscles bulged to the size of small planets, he punched the airlock lever. "I ain't fightin' the boy," Popeye bellowed, stepping out into the vacuum of space. "I'm fixin' him." Astro Boy dived, his arm cannons charging with blinding pulses of ion energy. He fired, but Popeye simply swatted the beams away like pesky gnats. The sailor man closed the gap in a heartbeat, his massive fist glowing with the power of 1,000 suns. Felix, realizing he needed to provide a distraction, dove out the airlock behind Popeye. He reached into his bag, pulling out a gigantic Acme brand magnet that pulsed with a rhythmic, hypnotic frequency. He began to swing it in wide, shimmering arcs. "Hey, Tin Top, catch this," Felix yelled, his tail acting as a whip to steer him through the zero-G. The magnet's pulse interfered with the junk code running through Astro Boy's systems. The robot shuddered, his glowing red eyes flickering to a soft, confused blue. He hesitated, his thrusters sputtering. That was all Popeye needed. He didn't hit the boy. He reached out and grabbed the back of Astro's neck, his grip precise and steady. With a heave of pure, spinach-fueled strength, Popeye ripped the jagged, black oil-coated motherboard right out of the robot's secondary port. Astro Boy went limp, his flight path leveling out into a graceful glide. "Is he?" Felix drifted over, his ears drooping. Astro Boy's eyes fluttered. The blue light returned, steady and human. He looked at Popeye, then at the vast, uncaring stars. "Captain, I remember!" A signal, a dark digital shriek. I couldn't stop. Popeye patted the boy on his metallic shoulder, his pipe still glowing faintly in the vacuum. "Don't you worry, Sonny. Even the best-built engines get a bit of rust in the gears sometimes. Let's get you back to the ship. I think Felix has some spare parts in that bag of his that'll get you flying straight again." Felix grinned, already rummaging through his magic bag. "I've got a wrench, a spare circuit board, and... Wait, is this a sandwich? No, that's a star map. Don't worry, Astro, we'll get you patched up before dinner." As the three of them turned back toward the Iron Barnacle, the robot pirate fleet, seeing their leader freed and their captain overpowered, scattered into the darkness. The galaxy was safe again, at least until the next sector. Popeye lit his pipe, the smoke trailing off into the starlight. "Now," he muttered, "who's hungry for some rations?"